Welcome once again to your weekly update from the city of New Hope. The mayor, Kathi Hemken, joining us once again. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. It's a nice rainy Monday morning.
Yeah, a little wet out there, but you've got the beautiful golf course behind you. Looking good as always. We'll talk golf in just a minute and a lot of other things happening in the city. Let's begin with a little election update. 'Tis the season, and now we know what's going to be happening as we head throughout this summer. Give us a little election update for residents.
Well, one of the things that's happening in New Hope, we have 2 open spots on the city council, and we have 5 people applying. So we have to have a primary to whittle that down to 4. That'll be on the general election ballot. And so that primary is going to happen in August. You can't file anymore, but I just want to tell people that the 5 people that have applied will get the Friday memos that we send out, and they'll also get the agendas for the council meeting. So we want to keep all 5 of them as informed as we can. They're of course welcome to come to the council meetings and sit in, as everybody always is welcome to come.
And we should mention as well, and we'll have this later on in the program with some updates of dates that are coming up, that June 24th is the date that absentee ballots are available. Is that correct? So we think June and we think this is so far away, but it's really not. The process begins here this month.
It does. So they can go into City Hall actually now and register if they want,
Okay.
or they can wait till the 24th of June and they can register either by mail or in person and go into City Hall, fill out the voter registration, and you'll get a primary ballot. You can do that right there at City Hall if you choose to do that. Otherwise, you can request a ballot to be mailed to your house.
Okay, very good. So lots of ways to get involved in your process. And newhopemn.gov, you can find out more about that. You can also find out more on the website about the Rave Awards. Remind us once again about the Rave Awards, why this is a fun thing that happens during the summer.
Well, that's for people who go above and beyond on the exterior and interior of their homes. And then they either nominate themselves or their neighbors nominate them for this Rave Award. And then we have a group of volunteers that go out and look at the projects. And then we give awards, and that'll be done on the 22nd of July. Well, you have until the 22nd of July to get your nomination in. And then sometime after that, they'll come out and look at the property. But it's really kind of fun to see what they do to their properties. So if you have somebody that's done something really amazing outside or inside, let us know.
Yeah, do nominate them. Curbside Appeal Reimbursement Program. We've been talking about this and saying it's something residents could get involved in. It sounds like residents are already.
They are. They did a little thing on Channel 9 about a week ago about the program. What it does is it will reimburse residents 25% of the cost of the project up to $5,000. So if it's got to be something that you see from the curb. So they could be putting stonework in the front. They could be putting in a new door with windows. Just so you have to apply, and then they'll look at the application, and if that's something that's acceptable, you can go ahead and do that. There's no income restrictions on it, but you must apply before you go ahead with the project so that we'll know what you're doing and you can get the reimbursement that way.
All right, we've been talking about the survey process going on in the city, and it sounds like phase 1 of that process is done, correct? And now we tabulate.
It is. Morris Letterman is the company, and they did a random survey of 400 residents, just randomly picked, made phone calls, got answers to the questions on the survey. Mostly, how satisfied are you with the services of the city? So then they'll tabulate all that, and we'll see those results at the September work session, and then at the September 20-something meeting, the council meeting, they'll reveal the results to the public.
Okay,
so
very
stay
good.
tuned.
Looks like the meeting on September 26th will be that meeting date where you can see some of those results. Scattered site housing, we've been keeping residents up to date. We've been talking a lot about the 4201 Boone Project. Tell us about that property there, how things are moving ahead.
Well, that's the former treehouse property, and the kids have moved to Plymouth to their new location. The city has bought that. We've turned off the water. We'll remove the water meter this week. They're also going to shut the gas and electric off, but we don't do that. We have to have Centerpoint, and the utility companies do that. So after that all happened, we'll make sure we get all of the hazardous materials out of there if there is any, and then we'll go out for demolition bids. When that comes in, we'll then pick somebody to demo the place, and then cut the lots in half and sell it to 2 developers. So all that just takes a long, long time to happen. But I do want to tell people that that property is tax exempt right now. So
Sure.
the city is not paying taxes on it now. But as soon as we sell it to the developer and houses are put on it, it will go onto the tax rolls. So there'll be a little bit of change in who's paying the taxes on that property.
Makes
So
sense.
watch for exciting stuff to happen on that lot.
Very good. One other property to update on in scattered site is 54th in Virginia. And this is really an update of a house that was redone and now it's being sold again, but a big change here, hasn't there been?
A big change. You know, the scattered site housing program has been going on for about 20 years. And we've got 7 houses that we're just kind of working on now. But this one's kind of interesting. It was built in 2015 and sold for $245 at the time it was built. The owners did a remodel in the basement and it now sold for $476.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing in just 7 years.
Yeah.
So it really does make a difference on the scattered site housing program. We're very proud of the program.
A neat program. We'll keep you up to date. Business Networking Group, we also keep you up to date there. They've got a meeting coming up on July 20th. Give us some more details about that and also what we can put on our calendars for August.
So July 20th, they're going to have the meeting at Pocket Square. That's on 42nd, where Mountain Mud used to be. And those meetings are really well attended. It's a lot of small business people that are there. There's some government people that are there. So you kind of find out what's going on in the government world, you find out what's going on in the small business world. So that one will be at 3:00. The one usually they have it the first Wednesday of the month, but because of the 4th of July, they moved it out to the 20th. So the one in August will be the first Wednesday, which is the 3rd. We don't have a place for that yet, but we're looking for a host for that meeting. And that'll be a 2:00 meeting.
Couple updates from the police department on your weekly New Hope update here. The first is just a note about collaboration with other departments. To give us a little more info there about how the police does work very closely with other neighboring departments.
Well, you know that our cities are so intertwined, especially Crystal and New Hope. But Golden Valley is right to the south. Plymouth is right there. Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park are too. So all of the police departments collaborate on what they're doing so that the bad guys don't realize what city they're in and they don't care. But the police department cares. So we're helping each other wherever we can. We're collaborating on all the information that we have. What happens in one city is going to happen here too. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that they do that. While that is all going on, we're still delivering the Meals on Wheels, which I think is pretty cool. It's just a way to get involved. They're having a community conversation on the 13th of this month at the Civic Center Pavilion.
Okay.
5:30 to 8:30. People can just come in and talk about it's outside. They can come and talk about what's going on, what's good, what's bad, what we can do to change. We're really interested in community conversations. So that's kind of a good thing. Now we're looking for 2 CSOs, community service officers. They've done some external posting on that. So you have until the middle of June, I believe, to apply for those jobs.
Okay. Here's another update for your calendar related to the police department, a way you can help out. July 8th is a date for some golf activity at that beautiful course that we see in the picture right behind you. Tell us about the crime prevention group and how they're trying to help raise some funds.
Well, there's a crime prevention fund group that's been going on in the city for quite a while. And what they do is they've got the extra money where they'll put in cameras where cameras are needed. That's what pays for the barbecues that they have in people's driveways just to do some more community development. So it's just a way to prevent crime. Well, we were getting donations from the public, but of course the need is a little greater than it was before. Mm-hmm. So Brad Callio decided that we were going to do a golf tournament. So it'll be on the 8th of July at the golf course. If you're interested in playing, just call the police department, the non-emergency line. They'll get you in touch with Brad. You can get signed up. So it should be a fun tournament, and all the money, every bit of it goes to the crime prevention fund.
Fantastic.
So this is a new thing we're trying.
Yeah, that's great. And that happens in early July, and then in early August, there's something that has been going on for years and years, and they want you to be involved. This is National Night Out. The date this year is August 2nd. Again, why is this such an important date for the city, and how do you keep busy that night, Mayor?
Well, it's important for the city because it brings communities together. If you ask people, most of them say the city is pretty safe, but their neighborhood is very safe because they get to know their neighbors and they get to see what's going on and they report what's going on if it isn't always good. So that's a really important date. You have to sign up for a party if you're having it. And the reason you want to do that is twofold. One, you get a package of plates and cups and silverware for your party. And the other one is you can request having somebody come out to your party, whether it's the fire department or the canine, or in my case, the police chief and I drive around to these parties. We usually do 10 or 12 a night and just visit with who's ever at the parties. But if you don't request somebody to come, nobody will come. So you have to sign up so you can request somebody so we can be there.
Very good. Here's that website, newhopemn.gov/NNO. You can find out all the information and get your party signed up so the mayor can make a visit, hopefully, to you. Public Works update, a quick reminder about potholes. 'Tis the season, and I know city crews have been out and busy, but they need to know where the potholes are, right, Mayor?
They do. You know, they try to, when they see one, they report it, and all the city staff does too. But we don't always drive up and down the street. So if you have a pothole, you can just call the normal city hall line. They'll get you connected with the right person, and you can report that pothole. Or you can go online and report a pothole that way. So we want people to do that. If you hear that terrible noise going on out there, they're grinding up stumps still. We had to take down a lot of elm trees or ash trees, ash trees, because of that ash borer. And now they're grinding up the stumps. So you'll hear that noise in the parks or on the right-of-ways. Just know what that is. And that's what we're trying to do, is get those stumps out of there.
Yep, they're out there very busy. One other public works note is some curb work along Bass Lake Road. So that's happening now, but that's in preparation, Mayor, for something else.
Well, Bass Lake Road is a county road. And so the county is the one that's doing that prep work. What they do is they come in and they replace any damaged curbs. So if you notice, Bass Lake Road is down to one lane each way right now. And that's because they want those curbs to get settled in. Once that's done, they'll be repaving Bass Lake Road. And what they'll do is do one side and then do the other. So it'll be down to one lane each way again. Just if you can avoid Bass Lake Road, try to do that.
All right, here's some other projects happening around town in the infrastructure area. The first is along Independence and a water main being taken care of there, correct?
They're just about done replacing that water main. And then, of course, after it's replaced, there's a big deal about getting the dirt back in and getting it paved. And it all takes forever to do that. Because a lot of the times they have to put it in, they pack it down, they put a top coat on, and then they have to wait before they put the second one on. So even though you think, well, just fill up the hole and pave it, it takes a while to do that. But be aware they are doing that. Now, I know that Centerpoint is doing some restoration work. They replaced some gas lines.
Okay.
So they're doing some restoration around the Liberty Park area. So if you see them out doing some stuff, that's what they're doing.
And last up would be Meadow Lake. Tell us about some of the work that's been going on there, and a workshop to help with some plants along the shoreline.
It is. Well, Meadow Lake is the one we did the drawdown with hopes to kill the weeds. Well, the turtles managed to do just fine, thank you. Good. They dug into the dirt, and now the turtles are up and about and doing their thing. But they want to keep that lake as pristine as they can. And so one of the things they did is they had a workshop, and a bunch of volunteers planted about 100 native plants on the shoreline in this one area. And that helps for any runoff that's going into the lake, so that these native plants can kind of siphon off any bad runoff that's going in. So just the cleaner water gets into the lake. So it's just a way to keep Meadow Lake a little nicer.
Very nice. All right. Park and Rec, our next stop. Let's talk about some things that are coming up and some that have just passed. First, coming up, Off-Broadway Music Theater. They've got a big production coming up this year. What are some of the dates we should keep in mind?
So that's Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. And that'll start on July 21st. It'll run Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for 3 weekends. They're asking for a $4 donation just to help offset the cost of putting on the production. So it's going to be at that new Civic Center, whatever that is, stage.
Right.
There's no bleachers anymore. So you have to bring a blanket or a chair to sit on. And it starts at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, will be a great performance. Other things that are coming up here. Well, one that just took place. We've been talking a lot about the Young Mudders, and the Young Mudders happened, and I guess it was a big hit.
It was a huge hit. If you haven't seen it, you really need to see it next year. It's so fun to watch. This year they have the adults come at 11 o'clock to play in the mud with their kids, and they had fun doing that too. So it was a big hit.
Very good. And you might think that gymnastics is something that only happens during the fall and winter season, but not the case in the city of New Hope. Tell us about some of the summer gymnasts. How many are there?
Well, we have a great team of gymnasts in the summer, and there are 130 kids have already signed up. So those classes will start this week, and they last through the summer. It's really just a fun way to get the kids ready for the fall programs.
Let's hop back to facilities around the park and rec area. The first is the golf course. How are things going at the course? Who's out there playing? And I understand lesson time right now as well is going on.
Well, they're having adult lessons, and the junior leagues are starting. And of course, the regular leagues have been starting for a while. That back patio is getting rented out quite frequently. So if you do want to have a graduation party out there, you need to get a hold of them pretty quick, because it will fill up quickly out there. It's just nice to see the parking lot full of people. They've been really busy out there.
That is wonderful. Also a busy spot is the ice arena, believe it or not. We've got some teams and some tournaments still going on at the ice arena, even though it's going to be 90 degrees.
It will. Well, they had a big major tournament last weekend, which is really kind of nice. They have these kids that are really, really good. Well, they also are doing rental time for, I think, 6 adult leagues that are playing there. So they pretty much play all season there.
And last note is about the Aquatic Park, and they are looking forward to the 90-degree days. But note here about the use of the pool and the space that's open. A little change again in the lifeguard end of things. Tell us more about that.
Well, people must be well aware by this time that all over the country, lifeguards are hard to get. For one thing, they need to be trained. They're young kids, and the job doesn't pay a whole lot. And so what's happening is a lot of the cities around are paying a premium. They're raising the wages for the lifeguards, but they're also paying a premium for them to come. And in many cases, they're training the lifeguards. So we thought we had a full contingency of lifeguards, but a few of them pulled out and took a better opportunity, if you will.
Sure.
And so we're back to looking for more lifeguards. So if that's a job you're interested in, want to be outside in the sun at the New Hope Aquatic Park, apply online, or you could always go into the Park and Rec Department and ask for an application and apply that way.
Very good. NewHopeMN.gov, the website to find out more about that. Also, swim lessons starting up. The swim team doing some work at the pool. So again, find out more at that website. To human resources, just a quick note to pass along. There is a external posting for a worker in maintenance. Tell us about that.
Well, typically what we have to do is we have to do an internal posting and see if anybody internally is interested. We did not get any internal applicants for that. So then it goes externally, and you can apply for that by either going into City Hall and asking for an application, or they will send you to the website. You can apply online for that if you're interested in that position.
And the mayor mentioned earlier internal CSO posting going on as well. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Final note while we have a second here, kids are out of school. So that means they're out and about and busy, and you want to remind drivers to be extra careful.
I do. You know, we have to watch out for those kids because they're not watching out for us. And they tend to just run in the street to pick up their ball or do something what kids do. So please be really cautious with the kids around, because we want all the kids at the end of the summer.
Fantastic note. All right. We leave you with the website once again, newhopemn.gov. If you have questions about some of the topics we've covered, also that early election news that we mentioned, that is coming up rather quickly here, newhopemn.gov. Mayor, thanks once again for your time. Great to talk to you as always. We'll see you again next week. And also stick with us here in the next couple minutes. We'll have some updates of things happening in the city of New Hope. Have a great day, Mayor. We'll talk to you next week.
Hi. Bye, Dave.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.